All right, family. We black again with the general. You already know what it is over here. We got that fire. We're gonna be talking about today how hip hop became a weapon of mass destruction. How hip hop became a weapon of mass destruction, and we need to understand that it you could once we dissect it critically from an intellectual standpoint, we gonna see what was removed that caused us to go all the way left to where now we heading to the edge, off the ledge. See, we don't know the ledge. No knowledge. We don't know the ledge. And that's knowledge. Now today we just run straight off the ledge. And it's like the donkey where they put the goddamn carrot in front of him and he's walking to get in the ledge is right there. They just walking the nigga to the ledge for the carrot. And the carrot is the jewels and the gems and the cars and the women. That's what they putting out there. That's the carrot. And they show the grim reaper riding on the donkey. And the motherfucker got the carrot out there and the ledge is right there. They walking you to the ledge. You got to know the ledge. You got to have the knowledge. We're going to talk about that today. And what the lack of African consciousness. And we got to go there. We can't, we have to, because the facts is there, whether these Negroes out there, and it cannot be disputed. And that's why we're going to refute these Negroes, because they trying to do it again to another generation. Fool them that that they doing something that's going to be beneficial to them. And all they doing is walking these young brothers and sisters to the ledge again, another generation off the ledge, because nobody is teaching them the right way to go. You feel what I'm saying? Before we get started, make sure you click the link at the top of the chat. Patreon, General Seti, man. We got some fire over there for you. That's right. Highlighting the day. We got over 600 exclusive live stream. It is Mother's Day tomorrow, and so we highlight the African goddess, the African serpent, mermaid goddess. Yeah, the Yemiyas, the Asets. You see what I'm saying? And many more. Circe, one of the most powerful Grecian gods who was a black woman. We're going to talk about that. Andromeda. We're going to talk about did I say Asets? And many of the African gods. Wajet in the African Egyptian pantheon. So make sure you get over there, because it's all powerful. And that's why you're lopsided, because you don't know the matriarchal power. You don't know that, but you better tap in if you intend to win for real. Anyway, let's get down to the how hip hop became a weapon of mass destruction. When you look, and I'm the one that's showing y'all this. I don't come behind nobody. Nobody ever put it to you like this. You see what I'm saying? Because you got these Negroes out here today that's talking about that they not African and this, that, and the third. And we can show you when niggas before African consciousness, where niggas was, and now that they didn't blackball African consciousness in hip hop, in the movie genre, and everything else. How it lacks any substance, sustenance. You see, that's nutrient, filling for us as spiritually, no nutrients, no spiritual nutrients at all. We are depleted of any of that. And so, I always stress, because you need to know this. You go to any other, civilization and society, the classical music, and that's what we don't teach. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no difference today. You know what I'm saying? You need to be masterful in the knowledge of your classical music, classical literature. That's why I bring the master teachers to you, bring the music to you, the classicalness of it. You understand? When you love music, then you study all the genres of black music. You see what I'm saying? Because it's some mistresses of all those genres that's so fly. God damn it, they'll rock you right now. From the 20s, they'll rock your ass right now. They were so masterful. You see what I'm saying? And in that, the spirituality and all of it. You see what I'm saying? From the blues to the jazz to the R&B, to the swing. You see what I'm saying? All of it. You feel what I'm saying? It's some essence that opens up chambers in the spirit, man, to allow you to go in there and see your divinity. You feel what I'm saying? That music help you to see your divinity, and when people take that from you, and that's what they done with African consciousness. You see, because when you come into hip hop, you understand what I'm saying. When hip hop first started, I'm gonna just be real with you know what I'm saying. They hits because it came in the late 80s and the mid 80s and shit. You see, it came and them niggas was living in, New York and most cities around that time, nigga, was impoverished. They still impoverished, but they was even more impoverished then. You can see it's a little more money, it's a little more wealth out here. But I think, it's a little more wealth out here today than it was back then. All niggas was rapping about, you know what I'm saying, was impoverished shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. You see what I'm saying? Hard times is coming just like the flu. All of that was poverty rap. They was rapping poverty rap. Them niggas was impoverished. But you really didn't hear how the fuck a motherfucker was gonna get out of it. You see what I'm saying? They didn't really say how the fuck they was gonna get out of it. You see what I'm saying? Then when PE came and the X-Clan came, they like fight the power, nigga. Made us tap back into Malcolm. See now, oh wait a minute, Malcolm showing a motherfucker how we could do this. You go get if you're out there, go get message to the grassroots. Go get Ballad of the Bullet by Malcolm. I tell motherfucker, them was like the first, man, them was the first lectures. Man, listen here. I used to listen to Message to the Grassroots and Ballad of the Bullet every day. I'm being real with you. You understand what I'm saying? I was so nigga when I was every day. I was just like Malcolm was just blew my mind for real. Malcolm, when I heard, I was listening to Farrakhan. Now listen to me. I was listening to Farrakhan, right? And because my uncles and them was Muslims, and Farrakhan used to come on. He used to come on AM every Friday. Because that's they holy day. He would come on every Friday right around like 6 o'clock. And I'll be right there, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Have my tape in my motherfucker. That's back when we recorded and how your cassette tape. And I put my cassette tape in there and I used to record every motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? That's all I did. Niggas could record songs right off the motherfucking radio and shit. That's what we did. We hear a motherfucking song come on. We put our cassette in, motherfucker be listening, and motherfucker be wait, oh, here it come, nigga. As soon as it come on, motherfucker hit record, had that motherfucker already on record, had it on pause, and motherfucker hit, and start recording. So I used to, and I used to go home and I used to listen, and I was studying and I was listening. And then Spike Lee came with Malcolm X, the movie. You see what I'm saying? And I remember going to see the movie, and man, I was like, wow. I was amazed by Malcolm X. And I went and bought, his lectures and shit. I went and bought, the 3 cassette tape thing. And I just listened to it and how he was so powerful. And I was like, man, I left Farrakhan alone, straight up. When I heard Malcolm X, I knew who the master was. I didn't have no confusion. Like, this is the man right here, Malcolm, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm wasn't talking nothing about none of that. He was straight politics, nigga. How to do this? You understand what I'm saying? Protect yourself. Get your money right. Take over your community. Educate your family, nigga. This is how you do this shit. This is the basic blueprint for Black power. And so that one, them, message to the grassroots and ballot of the bullet will get you together. Them two, they'll get you together, and everything else. That's, but I understood that, and I just, being, in the hood and shit, where you don't have these type of, you don't have no outlook. You ain't got no motherfucking outlook. They ain't never heard the master teachers. They don't know no blueprint. If they heard it, that might wake up something in them. Like, oh, okay, I think I got me a blueprint now. But other than that, they gonna rap that poverty shit. Yeah, yeah, it's fucked up, but they never rap on how to change the poverty. It was just poverty rap before the conscious rap. You see, and a lot of people, I seen a nigga try to put in there, he quick to say black consciousness. It came through the African consciousness. See, I'm down with black consciousness because I understood it, but it's intimately connected to African consciousness because it was through the studying of Africa that conscious movement popped off. It ain't just black consciousness. It's African consciousness because it was the medallions. Everybody had the medallions on. It was African consciousness that woke us up. You start reading about all the great queens and kings of Africa and all around the world. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it was through the African conscious social movement. The only time not only in rap was just a medium. It was a social movement, meaning that the music, the hip hop was synchronized with the R&B, synchronized with the movies, synchronized with the education, because the African consciousness went all over. That's when everybody started wearing kente cloth to fucking I wore kente. Everybody was wearing kente cloth for their graduations and the bow ties. It was African consciousness, man. Let's just deal with that. So it was in education, it was in music, it was in movies, it was in poetry. This was the only time that I seen every area of our social living synchronized by one ideology. You cannot find that at no other time. I can believe since we've been here. Have you found any social movement where you find that many areas of our social existence synchronized under one ideology, which is African Black excellence through African consciousness? Now we understand we kings and queens, we gods and goddesses. Now we know how to get out of the poverty. So the first shit was poverty rap. Then the African consciousness movement woke us up. And you start seeing directors and producers and of movies and everything. We bringing our legends to the screen. You don't see that shit no more. You don't see none of that. And so what did they do? They brought in, and I hate to say it, but it's true, they brought in gangster rap. They took, when African consciousness was the foundation of our thought process, we was calling our sisters sister, goddess, queen. Only during the time of African consciousness did that happen. During the conscious era of hip hop did that happen, where we start, the general term was sister, goddess, and queen. No other time. Soon they say we got to stop this. This ain't what we want. And niggas out there got enough nerve to say that white people created I don't know what you talking about, nigga. What your understanding of Pan-Africanism ain't my understanding. Nigga, I don't know who you talking about. But every teacher I know was ostracized by the system. What the fuck is you talking about? Every teacher of Pan-Africanism I know was ostracized. If the white man created it, he was supported. So the shit y'all talking is stupid. You had to talk to somebody totally oblivious to any truth about their history. You see what I'm saying? And so they brought in and to totally destroy. You stop seeing movies, you stop seeing black movies, and soon as it, quote unquote, they let in foundational black American niggas and shit. It's all nigga slave and slave movies. That's all they make. Motherfuckers say, God damn, they gonna make another slave movie. We wasn't making no slave movies. There was no slave movies during the African consciousness movement. Well, nobody making no motherfucking slave. We were showing motherfuckers snapping and going and overcoming. Yeah, we had Malcolm. We started bringing the icons, and they was like, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole lot of more, revolutionary teachers that we had movies to make for. It still got, but you don't have the charisma out here, man. And that's what they scared of. They want to keep motherfuckers on the plantation. That's these niggas today. You know them, don't go nowhere. Just sink with the ship, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no connection nowhere else. You from right here, nigga. Nigga, I'm a primordial, nigga. I've been here so many times. I know this is a chapter in my book, but this ain't my book. This ain't the whole of my book. I know this is a chapter in my book, but this is not the book, nigga. I got thousands of chapters, nigga, and this is just a chapter. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to pull all the other motherfucking chapters out and make this one chapter a book. I'm not going to do that. You see what I'm saying? We're primordial. We've been here forever. Our DNA go back to creation, nigga. So I'm not about to shortchange who I am. You feel what I'm saying? And so they snatched that African consciousness out of there. And then as soon as you snatched the African, then she became a bitch and a hoe on every song. I mean, dude, I say, man, like, and some of the brothers started to, they still continue to keep some consciousness there, but it lacks a lot of shit. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to just say that. It lacks a lot. Even though it was some consciousness there, it still lacks some shit. Because, a lot of these niggas after the African, they still didn't want to connect. You see, you had some of them niggas over there that love, they love white people to an extent that they don't want to disconnect from master. And so a lot of them, they don't want that pure black power. They want some, like Malcolm X said, nigga, coffee that's too black is too strong. So what do? You what did he say? You add cream, nigga. You see, you add cream. And you understand, you water it down. He said you add so much cream, you won't even know you had coffee. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what them niggas did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't trust a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to say what it is. It's something that about, and niggas can say what it was a lot. I wonder, I say, well, I don't fuck with the Panthers, even though they deserve a movie. You see what I'm saying? It was some shit behind that I couldn't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? They lack culture in a sense. You know what I'm saying? They was black, but why are you black, nigga? You got all this black on, but you never talked about Africa. You never talk about, none of that. So how the fuck is you black, nigga? You ain't even talking about Africa. You got all like you dressed up to do that. But then when you come out your mouth, you socialists and you communists and shit. I'm not no damn, you talking about Lenin and goddamn Mao Zedong and Karl Marx. Nigga, I don't want to hear nothing about that. You feel me? I want to hear about some Patrice Lumumba and some goddamn Steve Biko and some Mao, nigga. I don't want to hear nothing about no Lenin and no motherfucking Mao Zedong and no goddamn. And so that element over there, nigga, was on some bullshit. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? Because, nigga, listen to me, and I'm going to tell you this. So, and you hearing it from the general, nigga, I'm going to just tell you this. Anytime it come to the point where you pulling out guns on the motherfucker, you got to have somewhere to go. Because you ain't going, you think you going, that's just like you have a shoe. You think niggas is going to get back together? And you pulling out nigga guns and shit, nigga, when guns come out, nigga, It's time to go. You got to have a way to go somewhere. You got to have somewhere to go. That's why Asada had to get her ass on into Cuba somewhere. When you get to whipping them things, nigga, and they get to going off, you have to have somewhere to go. And so that was their downfall, that they thought that they was going to stay over here and whoop heat on motherfuckers, and that they was gay. They going to hunt you down, nigga. You a threat. You a menace to society. You see what I'm saying? You got a cause, nigga, but it lack. You haven't saw this shit all the way to the end, nigga, because you know how this shit going. You think you gonna succeed at this shit? Revolutions, nigga, either you overthrow the system, nigga, or they overthrow you. That's how that shit go. Ain't no in between in that. So they listen to Malcolm, but you know, they say Malcolm was the father of black, but them niggas didn't listen to Malcolm that much. Because they would have knew that. They would have knew that. You see what I'm saying? But when they took out the African consciousness, that was the end of the social movement across Black America. And no other time has it been duplicated where every move, every aspect of our social existence was synchronized under one ideology. You see what I'm saying? And that mean, and you know what they call that? They call it the Christ consciousness. You see what I'm saying? They call it the Christ consciousness. And that's what yeah. They call it a Christ consciousness. They say the American tether Negroes say Africans don't call themselves black. Say because. Oh man, they don't know what they talking about. They don't know what they talking about. They don't know. They go get a confused nigga and ask a confused nigga a question. You understand what I'm saying? I done seen motherfuckers just yesterday calling on in Africa saying black. You see what I'm saying? I see it. That's a lie. That's a goddamn lie. But anyway, family, we don't need to prove that. You know, they just ignoring the facts. They just ignoring the fact. I appreciate y'all, family. Get on over there to Patreon. I be black. We just getting started for this evening, man. We about to rock out tonight. I'll see y'all in a minute. Black Pop.